Yes, Mayor, we are ready. What's his name?
Mr. Fabio, and Kango, he'll be coming in a little
It's
later.
right around the corner, so he should be coming.
Also, do you want us to open or wait till he gets here to open?
I think we should open it up. Don't you? Do you want to wait 5 minutes?
Whatever your pleasure.
I don't know.
We're fine as long as we don't talk about city business. So we
Where?
can open it,
Wait,
recess.
wait for it.
Yeah, I guess we could wait, right?
Yeah.
Appraisal Springs will meet in special session on Thursday, January 7, 2016 at 5:30 p.m. at the City Hall Municipal Building, 308 West Benya, Appraisal Springs, Texas, 78834. Go to item number 1, call meeting to order, and it is 5:33. Go to item number 2, roll call establishment of quorum. I'll start to my right.
Martin Garza. Oscar Puente.
Dino Heda Valderas.
Sofia Moran.
Quorum is established. We'll go to item number 3, welcome and recognition of guests. Thank you all for being in attendance tonight. Item number 4, pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We go to item number 5, closed session. The city council will convene closed meeting as authorized by the provision of the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. This closed session is in accordance with the Texas Government Code section. We go to A, personnel, city manager interviews. And at this time, it's 5:34.
Tell us when you're done. Ready?
Okay. I go to item number 6.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Go to item number 6, open session. It is 7:41. And it is, item A is discussion and appropriate action on city manager interviews. I would need a motion for item A.
I make a motion that we continue with the process of the interview process for city manager and direct Mr. Martinez to,
I would say that we just simply move to direct Mr. Martinez to take action consistent
take action on the interview process.
with the discussion in closed session.
Okay. Motion has been made by Councilwoman Morones. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Puente. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We got item number 7, discussion and appropriate action on city council salary. Marty.
Mayor, I put that item on the agenda because during the last meeting, that there was some discussion concerning the council members' compensation. That is what it is. And we went back and we talked about the ordinances that were adopted by the council in the I think it was 87, somewhere in there, where it directed the staff to pay the mayor $400.5 for a special meeting, the council members 100 plus 25 for each meeting. It was brought up that because no one challenged that ordinance within the 3-year period, at the end of the 3 years, if it wasn't challenged, that it would automatically become law. And so I'm bringing this up because I need to give you that information in there. I don't know, for where the council stands with this. You just want to forget it, or draw up an ordinance just to reverse, what was done at the time, and take it and leave it with the charter commission, and let them handle, those kinds of issues. But they get a point.
As it relates to 2 things that you just said, number 1 is if you're going to touch the issue at all, my preference would be that you let the charter commission handle that in conjunction with whatever the council's wishes are. Because you can charge them with that responsibility, or you can take it upon yourself. But I don't have the background. I mean, I don't have the ordinances, the notices, the minutes, or the legal opinions that Mr. Martinez just spoke about to give you an opinion about what I think, other than what we discussed at another meeting regarding the validation statute. And we can certainly provide an opinion consistent with that, but I'd want to see everything. And the reason why I want to be very cautious about it is because this is one of the issues that was raised last year as it relates to possible wrongdoing at the city. So I want to make sure, and essentially was it proper to make a decision regarding those salaries, or should they have not been paid if they were? So there's no need to hurry. I'd like to find out exactly what happened, so you'll know what happened, and then we can provide an opinion about that. But moving forward, my preference is let the voters decide if you're going to be paid, and if so, how much. And the voters can do it in a number of ways. One, they can say, we give you the power to determine that on your own, to pay a reasonable, to be provided reasonable compensation for your services. So the voters can give you the power to determine what is reasonable compensation, or they can set it. And then there's no dispute as to what that amount would be. But I don't want to go back unless we clearly determine what happened. And even if we determine that everything is fine, this is still a perfect opportunity to let the voters weigh in on the issue, in addition to the city council.
Just with that committee, what, like
Absolutely.
you said, put it before the voters.
Right.
It'd be the best route to go. And at this point, we would just table it if
Yes,
with
that's
nothing to
correct.
do with it.
That's
at this
correct.
point.
I just want the council to be aware, of, you
Yeah.
know, that it's there. We need to do something, you know, so that future councils don't get the impression that, you know, well, you know, it's there. I should be getting paid for this. Why not?
I can see
Whether it's legal or not legal.
your point, Mr. Martinez, because I know that it's an issue right now. And so I can see why you just want to bring it out, clarify it, let's see what it is, and whatever it is, that way it's out there in the public and, you know, and it's done right.
Correct.
But I agree that we need to leave it to the charter, whether they give us the reasonable amount or they give us the authority to set the reasonable
We can
amount.
suggest.
Sure.
Yes, exactly.
We can suggest.
For not only for this council, but for future
Future
councils.
councils.
And because the issue was raised last year openly and publicly, and there was a question that was voiced about whether that action by a previous council was something that they could have done. I'd say, let's find out about it so that you can reach your own determination. But moving forward, I would still let the people decide versus this council in this specific case.
I think that's why it's very important and crucial that we revise our charter, that we
Yes.
really look at it and have the city
Yes. And I think as far as
commissioners, the ones that appoint it, let them do it first. They're gonna be people from the community. They're gonna do it, and then they will bring their decisions or the recommendations to us.
Right, because
By the
I think
people.
this entire thing happened because of an interpretation of the charter.
Exactly.
And as I've shared with you, my interpretation on this particular issue is that that charter provision simply provides 3 avenues in which a charter amendment can be brought forward. By petition, from the council, or by your charter commission. But the way the provision reads is somebody could take could reach a different opinion than what my opinion is, to say that you have the authority to amend the charter via ordinance. I just don't agree with that. I think the people created the charter and they get to vote to amend the charter. If the citizens of Carrizo Springs want a mayor and a council that is paid, then I think they should decide that. And I think the decision has been made previously. They've been paid in the past, right? Prior to
That's
that.
correct.
Normally, there is a nominal compensation that's provided. Let them decide what it is to be, or let them decide whether to give you the authority to decide. But make it very clear, open, and specific, so that everyone knows
Yes.
what's going on.
But it has to be done by the charter.
Yes, sir. That's my opinion.
Not by resolution.
Or ordinance. I don't think you should be given the power to to decide
Voters
how
share.
much you should get paid.
Absolutely.
We don't want it.
I think as a charter, that authority was reserved to the citizens.
Yeah, and for the record, or for another council, or for another attorney or city manager to say, this is how I interpret it. So then another council and another lawyer can say, this is how I interpret it. But that's not the best practice. Best practice is that the people decide, this is our town. This is what we think, yes or no, whichever way, and then there it is. And it's written in
Well,
the charter.
In the charter.
Right.
I understand the charter commission, the one that we're supposed to organize, and the council. Suppose they'll get together and decide on this issue. But we can suggest, and they can suggest.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then you're gonna have public hearings, you know, for the public, you know.
As far as
And
that resolution that was passed for the county, we just void that one unless somebody later questions it.
Well, it's being questioned.
Being
Right, it's being
It's being
questioned.
questioned right now.
And we want it
you know,
clear. We want it, let it be known and clear.
Once you go through these charter amendments, you know, whatever comes out of it, then you can probably go back and void those.
Right, that
Other ordinances that are in place right now.
Exactly,
just
that's
to get
gonna
them out of
resolve
way.
the issue once and for all. Once, the voters are gonna settle the issue, if that's what you choose to do.
Yes.
And as Mr. Garza suggested, we're gonna set things up as it relates to this issue and others, to dual track the review of the charter so that the city council is reviewing it, but the charter commission is also reviewing it. So you can charge them specific tasks, but you're looking at this and other issues as well, so are they, and you're coming together regularly to deal with these very issues that you're gonna present to the voters.
For the charter election.
Right.
And I want to add, because I know that a lot of people, they read our minutes and they discuss, and they want to know what's going on. I want to add that the charter hasn't been amended in years. Since when, Mr. Martinez? Years, let's just say years, it has not been amended.
It was adopted in 1959.
50-something.
There was an amendment when, through the
Election process.
through the election process, when they changed the practice of the mayor being
Elected mayor.
appointed by the council itself, of course now being elected by the voters.
And I believe that was in
That was the only,
2005.
that was the only
Yes, it's in
change.
2005.
That was 2005.
And I want to stay focused on this single item since it's on the agenda, which is as it relates to city council salary or any other decision that's affecting the salary or the charter, because it all comes from the same place.
I want to make sure that
There's,
the guests here understand that this is going to be decided by the people. I know the law allows, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the council, that there's options, that there's 3 ways that we can do it, and one of them is through a commission, which is appointed, and one of them is just through us, correct? But
That's-
we don't want that.
Petition is yours.
We don't want that.
No,
We
that's
want it to
simply-
be from the people.
The process by which you bring forward propositions to amend the city
Yes,
charter.
yes.
So the
That's what
people
I'm
can do it
talking
on
about.
their own through a process outlined in the charter.
Mhm.
The city council can do it on its
Yes.
own, or the city council can appoint a charter commission to say, we recommend that the voters get to decide these issues as they relate to amending the charter.
That's what I wanted to be clear, that the council has decided that we don't want to take that upon ourselves. That's one of the options, that we want it to come from the people. And then they come to us and they recommend.
So back to the agenda item, the people will get
Yes,
to decide
the salary.
on whether the council gets compensated.
Yes.
And who makes the decision as to how much.
there's
Yes.
cities that are going to that.
Right?
Yes.
For our whole big $5 per meeting.
No, let's forget about the meat. Get a flat salary.
So do we table the item at this point?
I would suggest that we simply table it.
Flat salary, and that'll take care of everything.
Then I make a motion that we table the item 7, discussion and appropriate action of city council salary.
Motion has been made by Councilwoman Morales. Do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by Councilman Garza. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We go to item number 8, adjournment. I would need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion has been made by Councilman Fuentes, seconded by Councilman Garza. To adjourn, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion is carried, and it is 7:54. Thank you very much for being
Thank
here
you
tonight.
for waiting.
Hey.